So that's why Babylon 5 is the greatest science fiction television show ever produced. Welcome to Thursday Night Fading Suns. I am JM, your GM. We are on the Ulysses International channel, and this is the crew of the Oh Boy. Welcome to the first session of 2021. I'll do a little recap and we'll just get into it. So the crew of the Oh Boy, if you're not familiar with Fading Suns, if you found us through the Torg stream or through just finding the Ulysses International channel previously, Fading Suns is a game that is coming out. The PDFs have gone out to backers. The physical books will be available soon. It is a science fantasy role-playing game. So it's set in nearly the year 5000. The suns have started to go out. We're at the end of the life cycle of the universe, and many people believe that the suns are going out because of the sinfulness of man. In Fading Suns, the Church of the Prophet, the Earth Orthodoxy, is sort of paired with the known empire. It's essentially the same sort of progression that we see in other fantasy games of like a rise of a powerful empire, its fall, and kind of digging through the aftermaths. You'll see a lot of parallels to Rome and the medieval times, but it's just set in the far future. So if you like properties that have fast ships, energy shields, dueling, nobles, merchants, engineers, explorers, criminals, BA warrior monks of the church, you have come to the right stream. Our stream follows the crew of the Oh Boy, led by Captain Calypso Mars, piloted by Calypso Mars. I was going to say the moral compass, but I'm really hoping that's not the case. We also have Gemma, the member of the Battle Order, a order of dedicated warrior monks in service of the church. Jexa, our engineers guild, who just celebrated a birthday before the end of the year. Congratulations, Jexa's a year older. Perpetua, the explorer extraordinaire. She is a member of the guild, the Order of St. Paulus. Am I remembering that correctly? Who goes out and explores worlds that have been lost and sort of are now being reclaimed. And Val, the criminal with possibly a heart of gold. We don't really know Val very well. She just showed up at the last arc, but we do know that she's willing to run into dangerous situations to rescue genetically spliced octopuppies that belong to other members of the crew. When we left off at the end of 2020, if you're interested and this is your first session, go check us out on YouTube. The Ulysses International channel has the backlog of the Fading Suns episodes, as does, you'll notice the little dragon in the lower corner. That's Iconic Production. That's who we are. You can find that on our YouTube channel as well. The group had some visitors from the past who showed up, guns blazing, grenades throwing, setting the ship on fire, injuring rather badly the co-pilot and big-hearted lug, Gregor. The crew justifiably was angry, not at me, but at this NPC that was introduced by Lee, I would like to point out. And they went on a rampage and ended up cutting his head off in a hospital. It was good times. And one of their allies, Alexa, left a message to Gemma saying that she had retreated, she had left the group and taken with them this small think machine android by the name of Virgil, who has been the group's guide as they seek to try and figure out what's going on with this suppressed saint, Saint Beatrice. They left because Jexa, in a moment of vulnerability, shared with Alexa that one of the demons that lives in the dark between stars had been residing in her head basically the whole campaign. And Alexa, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to confront the fact that Jexa has hidden this from her, fled into the arms of the Inquisition, taking with her this android, this guide that has been guiding the group. And they discovered they are now on a time clock. Whatever Beatrice had them set in motion, whatever they set in motion by freeing Saint Beatrice, those early days of the campaign on Milan Station. They have less than 7 months now to figure it out because here's the thing, ladies. We're going to start off, and I'm just going to toss the ball in your court and see what you have planned because Alexa is missing. Whoever was pulling the strings behind Tag made it very clear that that person is not going to let you guys go. Jexa's dad is currently being held under siege on a planet, and Jexa really kind of wants to go investigate that. You don't know what this timer means. When it started, you had 7 months, 2 weeks, and 4 days, but it's taken about 3 weeks to get the Oh Boii repaired, to get Gregor back on his feet. In which time, you guys had a wonderful, uninterrupted, no fish people, no inquisitors, time on the beach. It was lovely. You feel rested.
Are you
And
kidding me right now?
and you've kind of holed up in Dr. Feynman's lab because you know what? No one knows that it's there aside from Lorenzo, and he's pretty smitten with Jexa. So we're going to pick up with the 5 of you and any of the
On
NPCs that you would like to be there. Now, you've just come back from the beach. You know, it was so great. There was shopping. There were my ties. There were your ties. And you guys all have that really healthy, I've just spent the last 3 weeks on the beach glow. So, except for Gemma, who probably was still wearing her armor. So we're going to start off with that. Now,
Mad tan lines.
you guys get to do, like, so you guys are sitting around the table as the camera kind of pans in. The ball's in your court. What is the plan?
And we got the ship all fixed, yeah?
The ship will be ready tomorrow. The last little bits, Gregor's overseeing it. He is walking on a cane, but it's probably about a week away from him being back to fighting shape.
Awesome.
I would like to have used this time with Jex's help to try and get a message to Alexa. See if there's some way that we think we can encrypt it, maybe even with Perpetua's help with her Think Machine as well, to encrypt something to Alexa and try and start a conversation. Essentially, I understand why you left. I understand your fears. Considering who we are pursuing, your current company may not be the best choice. We will deal with the issue at hand. You should trust that I would deal with that. And if you would like to join us, we would appreciate your company, but we're not going to force you, and we're not going to come after you. We can't afford to do that.
All right.
So.
Well, if you would like to encrypt this, you can write whatever you would like. Let's have Jexa and Perpetua. Let's start off by giving me a wits plus interface roll from both of you, and the total VP is what you will set the encryption at. Now, here's the thing to remember, right? No encryption is undefeatable. The more VP you spend, the longer it will take them to unencrypt it, if that makes sense.
So close. I got 13 out of 14.
Oh, so close.
Right?
Does it have to be interface?
It does for encryption purposes.
It's not good news, I have to tell you.
Remember, you may spend VP to increase your goal
I
roll.
am going to spend VP. It's still not good news.
Oh. this would be using my think machine, so it'd actually be 13 out of 16. I mean, not that I was still successful. I just remembered I have +2 goal with interface when I use my think machine.
Okay.
Do you? I don't think I have that. I succeed with a 7.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
nice.
So, how much do you guys want to spend to encrypt this?
Well, I mean, we could dump all 20 into it.
You could indeed.
I feel good about that.
Mostly,
Yeah.
I want to send it from somewhere that's not Feynman's lab, and I was intentionally vague. So if they unencrypt it, that's fine. But the longer it takes, the better.
Okay.
But Alexa understands the message.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So you're gonna go to find a different terminal
Yeah.
to send this from. All right. So and you're spending 20 on it.
Or do you want to hang on to any of the VP for later, or? Okay. Yeah, 20 sounds good.
All right. So Jexa and Perpetua and Gemma sort of leave to take care of this. Val, what are you and Mars doing?
I think definitely at some point, I would have wanted to take a little time away to check in with Lucia, let her know like what happened, but that everybody's okay. Just kind of on the down low still.
She is very. Well, I mean, you send your message. Do you let her know everything that happened? He asked cryptically.
Yeah, I don't feel like Val would really feel the need to mention Alexa because she doesn't really know what's going on with that.
That's fair.
And like she met Alexa once and then Alexa was gone. So I don't think she'd necessarily say anything about Alexa, but Lucia would get the full story about the House Malik connection and the bounty on the crew.
All right. Excellent. All right.
But emphasizing greatly that everybody is okay.
All right. Captain, what are you doing while this is all going down?
Probably training Frank how to efficiently murder.
All right.
What can possibly go wrong?
So, Jexa Perpetua, you guide Gemma through getting this out, and basically immediately, as you send the message, Gemma, the jump gate in flames of the Inquisition comes up and basically says by Order 38996 of the Inquisitorial Code, this email has been flagged and is being remitted to the proper divisions within the church. Remain here.
So we leave.
Yeah, I figured that was the case. When you get back, there are a lot of dead watermelons kind of all over the floor of Feynman's lab. It looks like something has been taking like an axe or a hammer and Gallagherring them. And you just see like Frank slip, like as he comes running across the room, he kind of slips on some of the pulp and kind of pinwheels in front of you, only to slam into one of the computer banks.
Bless him.
Oof, that looked like it hurt. So, do you guys think Alexa's gonna get that?
I don't know. I am trusting that Beatrice is at work. Because that's about all we can do at this point. We have these to go off of, and I'll hold up the orbs.
We also, so Virgil once said that the Larkin in his brain connects to the gates, and that's what helps him get through. I don't know what that is, but I'm wondering if we talk to like a master engineer, they might know.
That's fair.
As an explorer, do I know anything about how that might work?
Give me a wits plus survival roll there, Perpetua.
That is a much nicer scenario.
Well,
just
I mean-
FYI. I succeed with a 13.
How many would you like to spend on trying to figure something out like this?
If I spend 6, do I learn anything?
Yeah. So what you know is that Larkin is actually an old Second Republic term that basically is what now is referred to as jump gate keys. That essentially Virgil has a set of codes in his head that can tell a jump gate to jump, like to open up and do, to go to different places. Your guess is that a master engineer is as good of a place to start if you don't have Virgil.
Right. Because if we could make something, then that would be able to identify and scramble codes. So we wouldn't need jump gates keys for the unusual ones. Have you told us your story, Perpetua?
Yes.
Okay.
You can go find out Perpetua's story by going back into the archives of the Fading Suns game and checking out the Annals of Antioch, as well as the story arc known as the Curse of the Abandoned.
JM, I have a question.
Yes.
So the codes, jump gate keys, that Virgil has in his head, would I know anybody who trades in things like that, or would have access to more like secret, restricted ones for any of my criminal contacts?
So you're talking about night roads, jump gate paths that don't they're not the sort of the approved ways to get from one place to another. Give me a knavery roll, and let's add. What's a good attribute to add for that? Sorry.
Whatever's valid.
Had a screen pop up on the wrong thing as I'm pulling up my notes. Let's go with perception plus knavery as you try and figure out who you know.
Okay. And then I have streetwise lore. Does that make it favorable? Does this qualify? Since it's like dealing with criminal underground and that kind of thing?
I would definitely allow that.
Well, I'm glad it was favorable because one of those was a 20. But the other is a 1.
Well,
Surge! Use your PP.
Yeah, I might as well.
Or not.
No, I have them, and we're probably not fighting tonight, so I'll do that and get some VP.
Surges aren't just for the night. you use 2 between long rest ups.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if we don't rest up,
I'll go ahead and use it. It'll probably be fine. Probably. Famous last words, right?
right? I'm like, oh, why is she saying this?
Okay, I'll go ahead and use it, and I'll spend 8.
All right. So here's the thing. You do know someone who is on Byzantium Secundus who specifically deals with night roads. You also know they are not. They're. How do I want to put this? They're a pretty dangerous person. I would argue that the word sociopath would not be out of the scope of words you may use to describe this person. I would also say that you have heard stories of people going to them for night road codes, and if they can't pay the price they come up with, filleting the skin off of their hand.
Right, we're gonna put that on maybe the back burner in case the engineer can't get us what we want.
Bad things happen on Byzantium Secundus.
Here's the thing: bad things happen everywhere. That's why there's heroes like you. Except for the beach over the last 3 weeks. That was just
Everywhere we
perfect.
go, it's just terrible things.
So that's more of a last resort option if we can't get Virgil or anything from the engineers.
cool.
What engineer are you thinking of there, Jexa?
So I was thinking of a master engineer, a very talented individual.
You said his name DAD.
The head of the Engineers Guild, actually, I know him pretty well, and he might be willing to do this for me, us. Maybe. It might also help if we got him off of a planet that he's been stuck on for several months. Then maybe he'd feel like he owes us. I'm hearing a resounding yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to look through my notes to see what I have about your dad, and I have years of notes.
I know.
Yeah, I asked a question. This is, and I'm gonna ask another dumb question. Is Calypso in this room? Does she have
Yeah.
any idea what's going on?
Yeah, of
We're all back
course.
together.
Okay. Okay, I wasn't entirely sure. So Calypso's gonna say, so I think that's a good idea, but wouldn't we need Virgil for him to mess with?
Well, he might be able to understand the concept and be able to create a kind of like a key that could code to any jump gate, even the ones that are lost.
You mean like a Virgil 2.0?
Yeah.
And we
I
have
know
these,
that isn't in like person, humanoid, miniature floating form.
people call me Pilgrim all the time. We have these constellations that we can also use on the stones.
Yes. So, he might be helpful. It's out on
Wow.
shop route.
Shoppers. Okay.
That's where he's currently under siege.
Yeah. Who's it under siege by?
It is
Other engineers?
It is a guild civil war.
Well, I don't think Calypso knows any of this yet.
Oh,
Right.
I don't think.
my bad.
Yeah.
It's been like Jexa has talked to people about it, but but I don't know that Calypso's been there when she's had these conversations. So do you remember Derek from Milan Station? The guy who like tried to stop us from freeing Beatrice?
I remember him.
Yeah, he is kind of one of the instigators of this civil war. And yeah, he thought he could use me to, gain leverage and the upper hand.
Oh, so if we go to Shop Route, Derek may potentially be there, and hypothetically speaking, we could kill him. I could kill him. I'm not the one with the moral reservations here.
Jexa definitely looks over at Gemma when Calypso's like, we could kill him, and it's like, I'm gonna go with no. He says
Yeah,
no.
Perpetua's real sketched out.
Val's like, all right.
I mean,
There's always a good cop, bad cop vibe, and it's always the same two people.
That's right. Good cop, bad cop. Good mom, bad mom. Mad mom,
Calypso would
angrier
absolutely
mom.
be featured in
Like,
Mad Mom's movies.
Right? That'd be an amazing Mad Moms movie.
Well, I'm just saying, when you have a person who's a thorn in your side, if you remove the thorn and stomp it into the ground and make sure it never grows back, you're good.
the captain has a valid point.
Are we talking about Tag or Derek?
Gestures. Well, she'll say, well, both. I mean, his head looks wonderful in formaldehyde.
Oh, is it really in here?
yeah, it's sitting
Yeah.
on like.
Yep.
Yeah, it's currently dripping with watermelon, with some sort of melony pulp, as Frank has killed another small melon and smeared it on Tag's glass head case.
Oh,
Such a
okay.
good
Good
attack.
job, Frank.
This won't come back to bite anyone in this campaign.
Not at all.
Next campaign.
Frank or Tag's severed head?
Yes.
No, when, yeah. And when Frank, morphs into a freaking tag kraken,
So how do you think Cthulhu got started?
right?
So yeah, like that's kind of what I'm thinking. If we go to Shop Route, rescue the head engineer and help him out, maybe he would be able to help us make a kind of a master key.
I could be okay with that.
I like that idea better than going to talk to somebody who likes to flay people's skin off.
Oh my gosh, so do I.
They are known as the Jackal, just in case you would like to contact them at any point.
No, thank you.
Successful roles just mean you know somebody. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily the best person to talk to.
I mean, I'm glad to know somebody, but Val would like to keep her skin intact if that's quite all right with you.
I feel like that is generally everyone's goal in this campaign. All right, so what I'm hearing is that the plan is essentially to head to Shop Route into the middle of this guild war, rescue Jexa's dad.
Yeah. Except
The
for I
Guild
haven't
Wars
said that
doesn't
it's my
stick to
dad.
the Inquisition.
And then hopefully
That's just
figure
something.
out what is have him try and craft a new version of what was in Virgil's head, hopefully to allow you to continue along the path toward.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything you guys would wish to do for your last day on Byzantium Secundus? Because the way this works is, if you remember, you have to take jump gates, and it can take several days of transition to get from where you're at on Byzantium Secundus to the planet of Shoproot. It is actually a 2-jump trip. You would go from Byzantium Secundus to the outer edges of the solar system, jump to Criticorum, and then from Criticorum you could make the jump to Shoproot.
Okay.
You're
Jam,
guessing.
can I?
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Perpetua, you have that think machine in your head who, anytime somebody says something about distances, instantly starts calculating, and they have that kind of proper British voice that answers you. Ma'am, that will take about 10 days.
Jam, is there any way during this 3 weeks I could have attempted to sneak? Because isn't there a chapter of the battle order here?
There is. There's a huge, there's the big battle cathedral where Operation Ravenwatch was able to get put together and sent out. Now, for those of you following along at home, Jex's father is Braxton Mendez, Guildmaster of the Order of Engineers.
I would like to try and sneak there and fill in either Katarina. I think it was Katarina was at this cathedral. Just about what's going on. About the fact that the cathedral, because we filled Katarina in on Beatrice, correct? I feel like we did. It was either her or Marguerite. It was a long time ago. Just that I'm being investigated by the Inquisition. Discretion on their part would be appreciated.
Listen, we can only give you so much. Technically, the Inquisition has oversight even of the battle order. Should. Why are they after you, Gemma?
Because a series of events that ended up being a wake in our path that we were not directly responsible for, but someone with a grudge is now trying to pin upon us.
So you're saying that you've been unjustly accused by the Inquisition?
Yes. Several times over.
What do you need from me?
As I said, as much discretion as you can. I understand that it's the Inquisition. And just the knowledge that based on what happened with Ravenwatch, if need be, we would get a fair hearing here. And we might be able to call on aid if need be.
You know that I'm under direct I'm being looked into because of what happened on Operation Ravenwatch. The fact that it was successful only buys me so much.
I understand. I just wanted to inform you so you could hear it from my mouth rather than the mouth of an inquisitor.
Don't tell me where you're going.
I
That
didn't
way I
plan
don't
to.
have to lie.
Oh, and Becca, what was your character's name? Your battle sister.
Oh,
Your squad. My squad.
I believe I was Philosophia.
Perfect. I would also like to touch base with Philosophia and just say, If I need you, do you have my back?
Of course.
Perfect. Squad.
Is she the only living one left?
Yes. I was the angry one who's prepared to throw it all away, and I survived. And now I run my own squad, and I hate it.
Yeah, we took your
That's
head
right.
off.
You did get promoted to squad leader.
She did.
Again, things that
Yeah.
probably won't come back to bite anyone.
It's totally fine. Cool. That was all I wanted to do. I just wanted to make sure we had some friends in the battle order. We can go now.
All right, so Gemma has gone off to probably pray or something. What are the rest of you doing with your last night on Byzantium Secundus, at least for a while?
How's Gregor?
He's overseeing the rebuilding of the ship, and he is not happy. Like, he feels like everyone is doing a worse job than he is. His arm's still in a cast, and he walks with a limp and a cane, but he should be back up to fighting strength by the time you actually reach Shoproot. So he's at
So
the
then-
ship right now.
So then Calypso's gonna join him there and monitor him and make sure, he actually doesn't overexert himself. Like if he's like, no, you're doing that wrong, and she'll, step in and be like, oh, no, it's actually like this.
Yeah,
way.
like when you walk in, you definitely you walk in, and what you can see is there is someone in a welding mask, in a jumpsuit, and the acetylene torch is on the ground, and Gregor is pushing their head against the wall of the hallway. Does that look like a good weld to you? I don't think so. Captain's not gonna like seeing a scar on her ship. Now, and he just kind of keeps pushing. If you don't get it right, we're gonna have issues. And you can just see the person's, like, the welding mask is firmly against the wall and probably a little too high for this person's comfort as their boots are scraping on the ground. Oh, Captain. And he just lets the person fall to the ground. I was, just making sure the ship's all shape of a ship.
Ship shape.
It's always still the same shape, so I don't really understand how that. Anyway, we got a plan.
Yes. How about you?
The guy
quickly
picks up the
check-
torch and just kind of runs past you. That man's
Yeah,
crazy.
Okay. How about you check the plumbing in the mess? I'll go talk to the welder, okay?
Oh, it's probably a mess in the mess. I'll be back.
Okay, yes.
No, I'm done. I can't work under conditions like that. That man is crazy.
I'll pay you 200 extra Firebirds.
When do you want this done?
How about by 10 a.m. tomorrow? Is that feasible?
Yeah, done. Just,
Cool.
you keep him out of our way. You pay us to fix the ship, not to put up with crazy.
Cool. Just so we're clear, though. If you do anything wrong and leave a scar on the side of my ship, you will see, though, which one is truly crazy. Here's your
Yes.
money.
Right, and he goes to rally the folks. Val, Perpetua, and Jexa, what are you doing? So, Calypso, you're kind of like Gemma. You're at the church talking with the battle order. You are helping Gregor not pop an aneurysm in someone else's head. Val, Perpetua, and Jexa, what are you doing?
I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
So question 1, these weird space pirates that Val is suddenly part of the crew with have been talking an awful lot about this person named Beatrice and how important she is. And presumably Val's gotten the story about Beatrice after like 3 weeks. But my first question is, would I have heard anything about Beatrice prior to meeting up with this crew?
Not at all. Like,
Okay.
right, everyone is sort of nominally aware of the patron saints of their callings, the major saints of the church, the prophet, the disciples, that sort of thing. But even for obscure saints,
Okay. Interesting.
and also if you ever want a rundown on what the group knows about Beatrice, I'm sure Gemma or Jexa would be glad to regale you in character with everything that they know. And Perpetua and Calypso as well, because Perpetua encountered Beatrice on Antioch.
And then second question. So when we defeated Tagger at the hospital and Calypso killed him, he didn't seem super bothered about the fact that he was about to die.
Nope.
So is there any information, could I have tracked down anything, anyone who knows anything else about him? Anyone who maybe worked for him? Basically any information or connections that might shed any light on why this guy doesn't care that he died. Like it seems like he has a master plan that he doesn't care if he dies. So during this time I would have liked to have spent as much of it as I needed to trying to figure out if anyone knows anything.
Go ahead and give me. Excuse me. Give me again a perception plus knavery roll. And
Okay.
it is a streetwise lore check, so.
Okay. Come on. Success with a 10.
How many would you like to spend?
What the heck? I'll just spend all 10 of them.
You do. Like, you ask around, I mean, it's not until the wee hours of the morning that you get a name. You're in a back alley bar. People are playing baccarat, and you sit across from a bounty hunter, and she kind of listen. All sorts of weird tech being recovered from the Second Republic. Barbarians, stuff the Inquisition has suppressed. But I heard there was someone on this planet who was probably the best person to ask, but as far as I know, he got nicked. Word is, they shipped him out to Columbus Station on the outskirts of the system. If you can talk to him, pretty sure Feynman might know what's going on.
Feynman, huh?
Yeah, he was a right bastard. Rumor is he was taking people off the streets for all sorts of. Did you hear about that fire over at the Noble's estate about a month and a half ago? Inquisition was involved.
Yeah, I might have heard a thing or two.
That guy Marcon was apparently supplying this guy for who knows what. Last I heard, the Inquisition nicked him with some help of some locals, but listen, that stuff, what you're asking, sounds either fanciful or Second Republic bleeding edge tech, and Feynman is the one you want to talk to.
Well, I appreciate the pointer.
Either that or check out an engineer, but again, that's probably Grandmaster level. And we're talking like dark tech that the nobles have their thumbs in, so.
Mention the nobles. Any noble houses in particular, or just kind of all of them?
Listen, The way I see it, that sweet deal the nobility has with the church, the burden where they're the only ones who are allowed to use the upper TL stuff. It's a con. It's a long con on the populace who just doesn't think for themselves. Second Republic, everyone looks back on it and says it was the best days, save for the church and the nobility. I don't buy this whole sin tech. I wouldn't trust any of them with it. But if I had to guess, I mean, Hazat uses a lot of bleeding edge stuff when they're dealing with their spy organization. Hawkwood has the funds and the reach. Dal Malik, I mean, they're just into a bunch of shady stuff. Don't really see Decados being involved. But what the hell do I know? I'm just a grunt on the ground.
Well, if you ask me, that's where you get the best information.
Not fast enough. I was here to get Feynman myself. If I find out who nicked him, they owe me credits.
What was your interest in Feynman, if you don't mind my asking?
It was a bounty. But I don't go up against the Inquisition. To do so's madness.
Yeah, I've heard that.
But I do know someone wanted him. They wanted him off Byzantium Secundus. And they wanted him delivered.
Any idea who? Seems like a lot of people wanted him.
No, it was a blind contract. Information for delivery upon confirmation of capture. Just a real weird way to do business, but here we are.
Well, if I ever figure out who nicked him, I'll have to let you know.
Gwen. She holds out her hand.
Val, good to meet you.
She gives you a comm code. You do let me know because, I mean, it was marked in absentia, which means I could bring him back in dead or alive. So if we find out, I'll split the bounty with you.
Well, if I hear anything, you'll be hearing from me.
Could use a new partner. My old one.
I'm more of a kind of working alone right now, but
Fair. She kind of holds up a little glass wherever you're at, runner.
well, if I ever decide to take on a partner, I'll let you know.
All right. All right, Perpetua, what are you doing for your last night on Byzantium Secundus? I assume firing 2 pistols into the air.
Yeah, I'm practicing. So since we know kind of where we're going, are there other explorers around that I can get maps from or information?
Of course, this is Byzantium Secundus. There are things all over the place. Would you like to head to the local Order of St. Paulus?
Yes.
All right, you make your way that evening to the Order of St. Paulus, and it is a very modest kind of archaic building, but you know that the Order of St. Paulus has been around a while, and as you kind of look at the newer buildings around them, even the newer buildings look a bit more run down than the chapter house of the Order of St. Paulus, with the big statue of him, like, one leg up on a rock, some sort of telescope extending off into the distance. The setting sun catches...
Style?
What was that?
Captain Morgan style?
Captain Morgan style. So, when you walk in, there's a there's not as many people. It feels like the chapter house could hold 5, 6, 7 times more people than you actually see walking around. But the Order Master is there. Greetings. What can I do for you?
I am Perpetua. I seek knowledge.
You have come to the right place. Are you a member of the Order?
Yes, sir.
Well, Perpetua, I'm Master Timothy. What can I do for you?
I am about to travel to
A good moment for any member of the Order of St. Paulus.
Of course. And I describe, I described to him the route that we're going to take and ask if they have any maps that I can borrow or, study.
Of course.
And if any of the members who are currently in residence have been in those areas recently.
Well, I can definitely give you a map of shop route. Here's I have been to shop route within the last 2 years. I can tell you what I know.
Okay.
Let's see here. I believe the current ruler of Shoproot is Count Kaldin al-Malik. What would you like to know? The capital, his eyes light up like only an explorer who has been asked to give a lengthy and detailed recount of some place that they have been. That's the sort of enthusiasm that he's mustering. The capital is Tabriz. It takes 2 jumps to get there from Byzantium Secundus. There's about 350 million humans, about 63 million aliens. Primary exports are wool, think machines, financial services. The charioteers maintain the main agora there, but there is a massive engineer research facility. Rumor is that there is a civil war going on, a guild war, if you will, between Guildmaster Mendez and some upstart named Derek. Apologies to all Derek's watching this. I don't believe it has spread to the capital, but I have heard that there are engineers killing each other in the Agora. That, in fact, the Harbingers... Do you know the Harbingers? They're the...
Do I know the Harbinger?
They're the engineers' intelligence division. That they have been carrying out high-level assassinations throughout the known worlds. If this doesn't end soon, it could bring the Imperium to a standstill. No one able to fix the think machines, no one able to repair ships, no one able to keep food replicators or terraforming machines operational. That's why we need to find new worlds, am I right?
As always. Do you have the areas that we're jumping through? Are there maps of those areas as well?
I believe
I was blown off course recently, and I don't want to be taken by surprise again.
Wait. Are you Perpetua? The explorer who rediscovered Antioch?
That I am the same Perpetua.
So 2 things. One, you get your maps of the jump routes, and I will send you the information on... I'm always like... so there's Shoprut, and here's the other one. They're going to ask you to stay and tell them everything about Antioch. Everyone starts buying you drinks, and you are now the local celebrity of the Order of St. Paulus.
Yeah, I was not trying to cause that, but that's okay. I I must return. I have to leave first thing in the morning. It's very important, but I promise I will come back and share many tales.
Well, please do. We will ensure that you and your friends are well wined and dined and properly rewarded for any such tales.
Of course.
All right.
Thank you for the information.
You are most welcome, Perpetua, and I pray, I will pray to the Pancreator that you return. It is about time that the Order of St. Paulus goes back to its roots and finds new routes and new planets.
Agreed.
I just need to tell you that our chat is the best. They're currently coming up with the worst way to spell Derek, and at the end of the night, I'm going to pick one. So please keep throwing them out there. You may win the naming of an NPC in this game, one that the group probably will kill. All right. So last but certainly not least, Jexa, what are you doing for your last night here on Byzantium Secundus?
I'm saying goodbye
To all
To
three
some-
of your
gentlemen.
gentleman callers?
Well, my question is the commune coming with us?
Well, we were not invited, Jexa. We have fulfilled our purpose, but I must say I do not necessarily wish to be. We do not necessarily wish to be parted from you.
Well, I was going to ask what you were going to do next.
We should, at some point, return back to Limbus. By our calculations, nearly a year has gone by.
Ugh.
But
Okay.
we have been speaking with the young knight Lorenzo,
Uh-huh.
and he has offered to keep us safe here while you go.
First of all, Maddie, that's horrific. Second of all, but that is amazing that Lorenzo would offer that, and I think he and the knights would be able to help protect you.
If you wish for us to stay, we will remain here until you return.
I think I'll talk to Gemma and Calypso about it. But I mean, I want you safe.
Will you recognize this form as Bessarion? All of the
Yes.
commune now carry Bessarion with them. Should this shell fail, Bessarion and his feelings will remain forever with the commune.
It's like the
That is really good to know. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to Gemma and Calypso, and we'll figure out where you're going to stay and be. I'm going to go talk to Lorenzo and Samuel.
All right. So you leave Bessarion and the rest of the commune standing there.
I mean, I give him a hug. I mean, They do just kind of stand there.
Is it
The-
squidgy?
The other ones
Or-
do. Bessarion is solid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh shucks. As. Yeah. I guess wow. I mean, I plan to like spend time just kind of hanging out with him. But I need to talk to Lorenzo and I don't know if I can talk to Samuel.
I mean, you can not. No, actually, Samuel has been missing since the incident.
Okay. And there's like, if he's been missing since the incident, then I've been kind of trying to subtly look for him. But if it's like they don't have any idea.
You keep running into inquisitorial firewalls.
Okay. Okay. Then I will go and talk to Lorenzo.
He's kind of standing guard at the ship, making sure that it all gets repaired.
Excellent.
Jexa,
Hi.
hello. Your ship is almost done. We might need to talk to Gregor about the definition of aggravated assault.
You might want to wait until he's feeling better.
Oh, I'm not going to talk to Gregor about anything, but I think you should talk to Gregor about.
You know what? I might bring it up when Gemma's in the room with me. Yeah. I mean, somebody should. That's not blood, is it?
Most likely, yes.
Oh. Okay. Sure. But yeah, the ship is almost ready, and
Yes.
we're going to leave
Oh,
soon.
oh.
I
Oh.
heard you offered a Syrian sanctuary?
Well, I mean, I don't. Listen, everything you told me about them, it's very clear they need protection, and that lab is technically off everyone's books, and so I figured
Okay.
that I could like look in him. I know how important he is to the crew. Not entirely sure why, but
Yeah.
thought you would
he-
appreciate it.
yeah. Yeah, thanks. I do appreciate it. A lot.
Could you
There
batch her up just a little more?
It was. Yeah, when we, the planet that we met him on, it was crazy, and Gemma kind of saved his life, and they saved ours, and it was really wild. Yeah, so I really appreciate that. I don't know yet if they will be staying here or if we will be taking them with us, but I'll let you know. And I'm kind of hoping that I'll be able to send you messages.
I would greatly appreciate that. Listen, I know you were going to leave soon, and I know that you're not someone who is a normal girl. I don't mean like a normal girl. I mean like
Right.
You know, you're. Listen, I got you something.
I
It
mean-
just sort of holds out what looks like a belt.
Okay. I'll take it.
We confiscated it off of a a smuggler, and no one claimed it, and so you might have to wash a little bit of that blood off, but it's an e-shield, and I thought it would keep you safe.
Oh, thank you. That was really thoughtful. Wow. Thanks.
You're not gonna get in trouble for like taking evidence from like an important trial or anything.
Go away, Mom.
No, it's okay, Gemma. He died.
Oh, okay.
Hence the blood.
Right. No, that makes sense. No, this is great. I actually, I have something for you that I bought. I didn't steal it or get it off of a smuggler's body or anything. But I have this dueling dagger that I picked up.
Why? All right. Uh-huh. All right. So, after this exchange of gifts, you all sort of reconvene back on the Oh Boii, and Mars, you start those engines, and they just purr to life. The whole thing. The Oh Boii has a very distinctive sound. It has a sound that has been missing for far too long in this game. You boot those engines up. Say what you want about the Inquisition. Flint came through for you. And the old girl's back together. I assume it's do you refer to the ship as a him or a her?
I actually think Calypso has never gendered it.
Okay. Well, the old ship is back together.
I mean, like, she'll never care what anybody else calls it. She
Right.
just calls it my ship.
That's right. It's like Chuck Norris refers to the Earth as MySpace.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. All right. I got a Chuck Norris joke in first game of 2021. You're welcome, chat. All right. Is there anything you would want to discuss? Share? Pass on?
What are we doing with Bessarion?
I think that's up to them if they feel they need to return back. I guess my only final question for Bessarion is the 7 months timeline in our time or is it in your time?
It's in the. He explained that it's in your time.
It's in our, okay, just
Yeah.
wanted to clarify. I mean, he's welcome to continue with us as we seek to find Beatrice, but if he has other obligations elsewhere. Bessarion, do you have a preference?
Again, we do not wish to necessarily be parted from Jexa, but we understand where you're going. More eyes to watch over may become more dangerous. We will help in any way that we can.
And, like, we will help in any way that we can, like, as in you could potentially shoot?
No, we cannot commit acts of violence. It is against the Lady of Lights.
But
Commands.
they can heal.
We are quite adept at putting your species back together.
Yeah,
We
but I
are
don't want anybody back together,
2 nurses now.
firmly apart.
Yeah. In this timeline, medical wears the red uniforms.
Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we would always welcome your aid, particularly your arts and healing. But I also understand if you need to return home. I don't wish to keep you beyond what you are capable of doing.
If you seek the Lady of Light and you seek aid, then we will join you. Right, because listen, Nigel just walks into the mess. I do love you all, but I gotta go after Alexa. Like, for a member of the church, she stole my heart and is quite flexible, so I have to go after her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I assumed he already had. Oh, great.
Jexa, I've been right here the entire time.
Nigel, if
I
you
love
can,
you, Nigel. Nigel, did you see? I got you a shirt.
Is it ruffly?
It's ruffled.
Yes. I
bought
promised
you one.
myself I wouldn't do this, but listen. If I find her, we'll be back. Don't
I was gonna say,
touch.
please bring her back. She is always welcome. We never wanted her to leave.
Yeah, listen. No offense, Gemma. I'm not even sure why she left, but you church people get a lot of weird ideas in your head of what you can't do and what you can't do and what you can't put where.
I agree because yeah, I'm a little miffed at her. Just it's a little judgy.
Because of me.
What did you do?
Yeah.
Listen, we had a good
You
time
were there.
going.
Right. Well, I was talking to her and
Right.
I told her that I might have a demon in my head.
Right, we all have demons. It's part of growing up.
Okay.
My parents were mean to me. I stole a bunch of things that I shouldn't. Gemma keeps looking at me strange because I keep stealing things I shouldn't. We all have demons.
No, Nigel, you
Does
remember, you remember
Have a name?
Right.
I mean, I call
hers is
mine
me.
Rick.
Okay.
This is the kind of demon you don't name. They tell you their name.
Like in therapy, right?
No, like as in like literal evil. Still trying to wrap my own head around this stuff, but because I have physically seen them at this point, I'm a little bit on the believer bus.
You mean you have a literal demon in your head?
Ding, ding, ding,
Yeah.
ding.
Oh, well, that's why she went crazy and ran away.
Yeah.
Can you just tell her it's gone?
Well, I'm planning on getting rid of it. I think
I'm just gonna slap it out. It's fine.
Perpetua's gonna help me.
Yeah, I have a plan. I'm a questioner of demons.
There's
I'm a vexer of demons.
You are.
Well,
This is like the polar opposite of what I've played with Lily before, as she was a cultivator of demons.
that is true. Go Team Hellcouch. All right. Listen, you've all been great. Some of you more than others, but I will miss you all. I will try and bring her back. We have a safe place to come back to, right? No more demons or church stuff. All right, Val, you're all right. Take care of
I
Gregor.
appreciate it.
Don't burn heretics. It's bad.
Are we sure?
Yeah, right. It's always bad to burn people.
Okay.
Like if they take something of yours, shoot them in the ground, put them down. But he was really looking at Gemma when he said, "Don't burn heretics."
I've not burned anybody myself. I have been burned several times, but I have yet to burn anybody.
All right, Nigel gives you all hugs. He gives back.
I check my
Club Soda.
pockets to make sure he doesn't steal anything.
Just keeping you on your toes, Val, and he hands you back your knives. You do hear from the hallway, "I always liked you best, Frank," and then he leaves. All right, as the crew of the Oh Boii takes off to go rescue Guildmaster Mendez, I am going to wrap up with just a little bit of, hey, we haven't done this in a while. you all earn from the last 2 arcs 2 advances into level 5. So in Fading Suns, the way it is a level-based game, but it is not a at this level you get these features, at this level you get these features. Basically, every level that you go up, you gain 1 capability, you gain several characteristic points, you gain several perks, so you get to kind of customize your character at every level. So what a partial advancement is instead of, if you guys go to page 101 in the PDF, you'll see on level 5, it'll tell you everything you get. With 2 partial advancements, you get to pick any 2 things off of that line and mark them down, because when you actually get to level 5, you don't get to take them again. But when we come back next week, I don't want to start into shop route and then have to stop. So we're gonna stop a little bit early tonight. We're gonna go through, like I just said, we'll explain the advancements. So you can pick perk. You can either pick a class perk or a calling perk. You can increase your revival rating. You can gain 2 skill points. You could gain a characteristic point. You could increase your surge rating by 1 or your vitality by 1. Those are all of the different things you can. I'm guessing Gemma's increasing her vitality by 1 because I keep dropping her to 0. Yeah.
Or my surge, that also helps.
So, I am so glad to be back with the crew of the Oh Boii. I love this game. I love the dynamic that you guys bring to the table. It is not a typical game for me, and I really appreciate that. But before we go, we do have to pick the winner of tonight's, I guess, name raffle. There were some great ones that I'm just going to mention, like Rookcat's Dare Ricky Bobby, which made me giggle in the middle of the thing. Hey, Rook, you also get a weird point for the next time you played Fading Suns, because in the Gregor versus Gemma debate, he voted for Gregor. He's like, dude lifted an engine without any sign of tiring back on Limbus, and that was a deep pull, so that's worth 2 weird points. But I think I have to go with Dairik, which is DAI''RYK, because it is possibly the most pretentious spelling of Derek that I could imagine, and I don't know who M-Dive is, but you get a weird point as well. It's who? Maddie? Oh! I did not know that. Curses. All right, everyone.
You get a weird point.
You get at a weird point. I stand by my random decisions that I make in game. So, guys, I appreciate all of you in the chat. You guys keep me laughing. Alice and Becca and Lily and Maddie and Lee, I'm so glad that you guys are part of this game. Alice and Lily, thank you for joining. Becca, Maddie, and Lee, we have been playing this camp. I think this will start. We're going to start into year 3 of the campaign right around May, which is right. Am I mathing right, or is it year 2?
It's a long time. So I feel better for forgetting things.
We'll figure that out for next week.
2018.
Yeah, Fading Suns is our longest running game. I think we started.
I've known you guys for that long already?
Yeah.
You have.
I keep thinking I'm just like the new person. Like, man, I'm like, what?
You're old.
I know, I'm old news now.
So, be prepared to tell everyone next week what advancements you purchased for your characters. And when we come back next week, we will be diving directly in to the Oh Boii coming through the shop route gate. And I want you to know I've been planning this for a very long time because Becca gave me the storyline idea, and so we're going to run with it. I'm looking forward to it. Check out all the other great shows on the Ulysses International channel. The Torg game this week was especially delightful, and I highly recommend you go check out the Torg game. Whether it is the Horsemen or the B Team, the puns and the laughs keep rolling. There's a ton of great shows on the Ulysses International channel, but I would be remiss not to say that if you enjoy gothic horror, if you enjoy Torg, if you enjoy just miserable places to play games, check out on the 26th of January, coming to the Game On crowdfunding platform, the new Torg Cosm Orosh, which is, if you are at all a fan of Torg, the Gaunt Man is sort of the iconic villain from Torg, and that is his Cosm. Lily plays Edith, who is from that Cosm. We had a lot of people from Orosh, and the campaign will be heading to Orosh. If you want a little more detail on it, you can go to the Ulysses International channel, where they have a bunch of previews for what's coming down the line. I've gotten to see the GM section of the Orosh stuff for use on the stream, and it is a lot of fun. So, this is the crew of the Oh Boy. I am JM, your GM. We will be back next Thursday with more Fading Suns. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay gaming, and I look forward to chatting with all of you next week. Have a good one.